The accused. Good afternoon, Mr. President, Your Honors. I am very grateful to Your Honors for allowing me to make the final personal statement. My purpose here is to ask the Supreme Court chamber to recognize and consider the personal jurisdiction over me. And I would like the Supreme Court chamber to acknowledge that I am not falling within the personal jurisdiction of this court. It is true that the senior leaders, the most responsible person were others, not me. First, according to the notion that the notion of senior leaders and most responsible persons, we refer to those who had the authority to design the line and to have it implemented. It's not me. The transcript on the 31st of March 2009, E1/6.1, starting from line 13, page 53, to line 6, page 58. There was a sketch concerning the final or the last day of the Khmer Rouge regime. We would like to refer you to ERN 00294001 as evidence. Such determination is very consistent with China during the Great Cultural Revolution. China determined 4 people as senior leaders and most responsible people, and they were universally recognized. During the French regime in 2000, according to that document on page I would like to submit that if we determine that the standing committee are the senior leaders of the Khmer Rouge, and that those who had the decision to smash the enemy were those who were the most responsible people, this group of people were not me, because I do not fall under this category. There is another document in relation to the execution or the killing by DK. We would like to refer you to document E149/10 ERN 00404 785 through ERN 00404 817. This document is also in the transcript E1/878, dated September 2009. ERN 009069, rather 004069 through 004088. And regarding the framework of those who can make a decision to smash has already been shown in the decision by the CPK that everyone referred to as the document of the 30th of March 1976. The first paragraph of the document has been well used by the co-investigating judges and well quoted. Paragraph 35 and 36 of the introductory submission, the 999 can also be referred to as evidence. The trial chamber has used this same document, paragraphs 102 and 103 of the judgment of the 26th of July 2009, document E188. I would like to reiterate that the grounds, the submission made by my defense counsel is based on this particular document, this document of the 30th of March 1976, paragraph 1. These are the reasons why we, three of us, would like to present before the Supreme Court chamber that the leaders of the democratic Cambodia and those who were most responsible for the crimes are. And of course it is for the purpose of finding justice for the Cambodian population all across Cambodia and those who have suffered a great deal. And now let's just stick to the loss of lives. There could have been 1.7 to 1.8 million people who have perished during the regime, and their remains still scattered all across the nation. Next, I would like to also elaborate further on the roles and functions of S21 and that of myself. S21 was tasked, and I think I have already made it clear to the chamber according to document E149/10. I still maintain my position that I recognize all the matters happened at S21 because S21 had no authority to cover other security centers. S21 characteristic was not unique. It was like the other security center where tortures were employed. I would like to refer to you two pieces of evidence concerning the interrogation in the aftermath of the case file 001 case. Document number 1. Duch, alias's wife, was sent to Angkar, to Pol Pot, through K7, which was the central messenger office. This proves that people who were sent from the zone to the party was not under the authority of S21 but by the secretary of the party. Document number 2, it is about the annotation of the interrogators who indicated that torture were employed. I already indicated to the co-investigating judges that tortures were required and obliged to be carried out by all security centers across the nation. The record of my interview by the co-investigating judges in case file 002 can also be referred to as evidence. Now I would like to touch upon the right to smash. The right to smash was well respected by or followed by me. For example, the interrogator assaulted my teacher by inserting a stick into her vagina. I was very depressed. But my authority was only to report on the actual circumstances to my superior. I had no authority to request for any arrest because arrest means smash. So if I did so, it means I would have violated the right I have been vested with. I would like to also make it clear that the persons who violated such orders shall be smashed without fail. For example, in the case of Koi Chun, Unlon alias Nat. I would like to make it very clear that I survive the regime because I respectfully and strictly follow the orders. In 1971, I was appointed as the chief of M13 by the party. And finally, I would like to stress that Santebal task was carried out by me with hesitation. It was carried out with hesitation since 1971. In 1973, when detainees at M13 escaped the prisons, I asked one way to punish me. After the 17th of April 1975, I asked that I be transferred to industry section. After the party removed Nat, I asked that Chai Kum Ho alias Hock be installed as the chairman of S21 when I remained as deputy head. But my pleas and requests were rejected because the principle and policy of the party were very clear that whatever you were ordered to do, you had to do it, to do them, otherwise you would end up being smashed. Regarding the day-to-day operations at S21, I was working under duress, I may say. I was under severe pressure from my superiors. They called me through secret telephone conversation, and also they called me to meet in person.
In addition, the fact regarding the use of all means during that regime was started from the 20th of July 71. The principles that I observed that whenever the people returned or entered the liberated zones, they would be considered enemies and needed to be smashed. I did not agree to that principle, and I spared some of them for production, and I strive to have some of them released. And in fact, certain number were released. Those who broke out in 73 were those people who I kept for production. Separately, in 1973, I was shocked of the arrest and killing in Om Leang. That was the support base for the party since a long time ago. That was the purge by the Southwest Committee after their tracking and monitoring and leading the movement to do the purge themselves. I reported this incident in my report to the trial chamber already. On the 31st of July 1957, rather, a cadre was arrested, and I was shocked because a patriot who loved the country, who gave up everything for the nation and for the people, were finally killed at S21, that is the office under my supervision. After the arrest of Ngat Hong, So Chi and So Duch, I was even more shocked and fearful for my own life. I was happy to live and see the life next day and went one way and Chai Kim Hu were arrested, it had very negative impact upon my emotion. I was despaired and I could not concentrate on my work. I was despaired when the party gave instructions to remove those detainees from S21 to be taken and smashed before the 6th January 1979. Number 3. Your Honor, I'd like to report on the spirit of my cooperation with the court. My defense counsel already made such a statement on my cooperation with the court, and I'd like to submit that I faithfully cooperate with the court and the nation. Christophe Pachu, who was the Deputy Director of the High Commission for Human Rights, was interrogated me at a hotel in Battambang on the 29th April 1999 to the 4th of May 1999. Even though at that time I was disappointed with him that he did not cooperate with the local authorities, I told him that the way you act was like you were a thief. And then with Peter Lebrick, the Special Rapporteur of the United Nations, who interviewed me at the prison of the military court on the 27th November 2006. Then another journalist came to interview me again, and on the 7th June 2007 with the Japanese media, and subsequently with media journalists. They all were permitted by the Ministry of Public Affairs. The point is that all the crimes committed throughout Cambodia were the crimes of the Communist Party of Cambodia, with brother number 1 Pol Pot, the secretary, brother number 2 Nuon Chea, the deputy secretary, and Chun Chun alias Mok was a deputy secretary. All were illustrated that those crimes were perpetrated by them, and I reveal all that within a political setting under the leadership of those people who put the blame to the Vietnamese government. And Mok at the military prison also still blame me on the party's line. One day, brother number 3, alias Mok, shouted that Vietnamese already bought everyone's head except one. And even today, brother number 2, Nuon Chea, when he is here at the detention center at the beginning, he reminded me of our true nature of patriotism, and subsequently he tried to persuade me to strengthen my stance that all those crimes, even if they were committed by individuals. I would like now to present my stance to the Cambodian people. First, I still maintain my position of legally responsible for the victims suffered at S21 and for psychological damage for the victims throughout the country. I still maintain my position to ask for forgiveness for the soul of the victims of 12,733 people who lost their lives at S21, and for the families of those victims to accept my apology and forgiveness. Also, Cambodian people who are the former Khmer Rouge cadres or soldiers or senior officers, they shall maintain a strong position to recognize that we joined the movement of struggle to liberate the country. However, the party's line was criminal, copied from those implemented in China by the four persons clique. The former cadres or former soldiers who were instilled as a reflex of that policy for the country construction, that would be a different approach. And I'd like Your Honor to consider an approach that all and each Khmer Rouge cadre or individual who dare to sacrifice everything, even their lives, for their country, they cannot be avoided from the criminal party's line, that we were under duress to implement their line. And if we carelessly implemented their line, we would be beheaded. And under the pretext that we were opposing the party, I strongly believe that the Supreme Court chamber, with fair justice and consideration to seek the truth for the Cambodian people, for the victims, as well as for those who are former Khmer Rouge soldiers or cadres, in examining all these facts for the peaceful living of the Cambodian people. And finally, I'd like to bring to Your Honor's attention the resolution in China. The situation in China at that time was the source that brought about the existence in Cambodia during the 75 and 79 period. The great cultural movement existed from 66 to 76. The four members clique were arrested, were tried for life and then convicted for life imprisonment, except Jin Qing. In the beginning, the person was sentenced for execution, but later on was reduced to life imprisonment. In China, they still maintain the capital punishment until today. In 1979, Deng Xiaoping made a speech in the memorial of Li Jiaqi and the former combatants who lost their lives during the great cultural movement, and also to give impunity to all those people. Li Jiaqi was also the person who was guilty as defined in the French dictionary Le Petit Larousse 2008. You can find that Li Jiaqi was also mentioned in that dictionary starting with L. Your Honors, for the sake of national reconciliation amongst my people, I sought assistance from Dr. Sochitira whether I would be able to somehow heal the psychological wound of my people. In my conclusion, I'd like to return to my basic principle and point that I would like urge Your Honor to decide and consider on the issue of personal jurisdiction, that I do not fall within the jurisdiction. This is the principle that you should abide by in order to seek justice and truth for the Cambodian people. as well as for the former Khmer Rouge soldiers and cadres, especially the middle class, who do not fall within the jurisdiction of this tribunal. I'm grateful, Your Honor.